Build-A-Boeing, and the mailman arrived today and he was carrying this. As you might be able to see, it's from eBay, and if you look down the corner you can see it's also from the United States. So what is it? Well, let's have a look. Down here in the box, together with the local newspaper from the Tennessee Valley, we find some interesting stuff. Like neatly packed in bubble wrap, we find things like this, which is an audio control panel from a Boeing 737. We also find a weather radar panel from a Boeing 737, together with a oxygen mask mic panel, also from a real Boeing 737. Furthermore, down here we have a VHF, nav and compass panel from a Boeing 737. And last but not least, the store warning panel, also from a Boeing 737. So the box contains 5 real panels from a Boeing 737 OEM panels. They are not from the new generation, they are mostly from the classic, the 737-300. But they're going to look nice in the cockpit. Nothing is cheap in this hobby. I know that, you probably know that. But that being said, I think I actually got these rather cheap. They were, I can't remember the exact amount, around $115 total, which is 95 euros. And in the Danish currency, which is called kroner, it was actually 737 kroners. So that was perhaps a sign to me that I had to buy these things. I'll just run through the different panels here. Stall warning test. This is also found on the 737 NG. If I click the buttons here, you're perhaps able to hear this is something else than your regular switch on an overhead panel. These are heavy duty buttons. On the back here, the wires are cut and the box in the enclosure is taken away. It is actually just a thin piece of metal. There's no backlighting on this, so it's just 2 switches and then a spacer for connectors in the back. Oxygen mask, again a push to talk button and a protector and then a switch in here. This is not found on the 737-800 new generation. It is from a 300 series, I think, but I reckon I'll install it anyway. Otherwise I'll just scrap it and use it for parts. But take a look at these inside here. This is really heavy duty. This is just 1 switch, but there are a total of 10 connectors on that switch. That's the oxygen panel. VHF panel. This one is on the 737 NG. This one is not. It's called IRS, if I remember correctly, on the new generation. I'll let that pass and just install this in the cockpit. Again, some heavy duty switches, which is locked, so you cannot move it unless you pull it out and then move it to the side. Again, it's locked. And on the back here, there's a connector. I need to figure out if I can buy these connectors somewhere. Also, I'll just plug wires into it. I just need to find out which wires go where. You can see how neatly it is on the inside here. Again, the casing is gone, and I might just put some metal on here to make an enclosure. Weather radar. Not the same as the 737 NG, but has the same functions. There's a tilt, There's a gain here, but on the new generation, the gain auto is over here, whereas here it is on the opposite side. One thing here is that's worth noticing is, I don't know if you can if you can hear this. It goes click. So it's like there's a switch here for auto, and if you're away from auto, then you have the normal travel from a potentiometer. This one, of course, goes to off, standby, normal, center, map, and then if you want to put it on test, you need to pull it out, lift it, and then you can turn it. I'll just do it again here from the side, see if you can see that. Lift, turn, and then back to normal. It's still sealed here on the sides, so if I break these, the warranty will be void. I might have to do that. I don't know what's inside here, if this is just regular potentiometers or if I need to replace them, so I'll figure that out later on. The last one is this one. It was cheap, but there's one button missing there. I can live with that. It is, of course, as they should be, in working condition, hopefully. The switches go out when you push this one goes out. Again, I think it's from a 737-300 to 200 perhaps. These also work. Push them down to activate, and you can turn them to turn up and down the volume. These at least, these alone, they are like $20 each if I wanted to buy some. Down here is emergency and normal switch, and then a switch here that can return. So I'm going to use this as a push to talk button. Two connectors on the back. I just wrapped in plastic here. There are two here in the back, and I need to figure out the wiring for this as well. I'm going to take them apart at some point and look at the wiring. On most of them, it goes that the serial number has been scratched out. But this is from '92, so this has been flying for like 25 years. Other panels, like this one, there's a date on this one as well. See if I can find that. Nah, cannot find it here. This one actually still had the serial scratched out, but it's serial number 24, a Gables G1945 weather radar. This one still bears the Boeing mark, and it's from it's from November 1987. No, 78, sorry, 1978. So that is gonna turn 40 years old in half a year's time. And the last one, this one, production date was down here, 1985. I'm really looking forward to installing these. They will give a good ambience to the cockpit. Oh yes, one last thing I wanted to show you. I noticed a lot of people, cockpit builders, are very keen on getting the exact right color for that cockpit. Let me see if I just get some light on these. You might be able to see they are not in any way the same color. This is darker, this is lighter. They're not the same color. So don't you worry about coloring in your cockpit. It's gonna be different in real life, as you can see here. So you shouldn't be all that concerned about getting the right tone of gray or the right shade of gray, as I reckon you'll say these days. There are more than 50 shades of gray in your cockpit. I'll do more videos on this once I start wiring them up and installing them into the overhead and pedestal panel. I'm Peter from Bilderberg. You guys take care.